I wanted to wait until you said it. Okay,
Okay,
we're live.
we'll start the board meeting for tonight. Bob, will you do roll call, please?
Yes, physically present is Jerry Nelson. Physically present is Neil Beaver. Physically present is Robert M. Ferguson Jr. Physically absent is Jeremy Fisher. Also present is Steve Hicks, Tony Janeway, Peggy Myers, Christina Lynn, and 6 citizens.
On the open issues, I'm going to make a little change here real quick because I'm waiting for the other board member. Hopefully he's coming. I'm going to start with the park.
Are you skipping over
Yeah,
approving
I
the
am for right
minutes?
now. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
You can, I just wanted
Yeah,
to.
need a
wondered if you were.
motion. Need a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
I second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. And now, park. Thank
No,
you.
the park. As everyone can see, we are done with the pavilions. The restrooms are open. Grass is planted and we're trying to get it to grow. Working in it, but, so last time we were still waiting on clearance from the CDBG. And as soon as that is done, we will begin preparation playground and still anticipate being installed July 23rd, 24th, and 25th with a community build. Great.
Do we have a place to sign up for that?
Sign up for that or let Bob or I know. Yes.
And your benches are being made, so.
The picnic tables are up there. Benches are in the works, so lights are here. They just need to be installed. But that's after clearance by CDBG, so.
So is everything approved in terms are all done?
That's what we're waiting on.
So that's still part, okay.
They're them to do their final inspection to clear it.
And we can't do that until we've made the final payment to Randall. We've already made final payments to the administrator and final payments to Duffy, the coordinator, but we have not made final payments to Randall. And as soon as he gets his final payments, then Okra will be, the Office of Community Rural Affairs will be notified that they can come in and do their final inspection.
And just a second, I just want to verbalize, Bob obtained another grant recently. And with that money, we have more, not a ton more, but more than enough money to get the playground in and fully prepared. And then we'll begin working on money for fencing and playground lights, all that. Begin working on money for fencing and anything else that we dream of.
Okay.
Any other questions about any of that?
The water spigots that we got at the pavilion, we're gonna put any type of lock or have it so the knobs are taken off. I'm just kind of concerned that if we leave them like that, we can just turn them on, that we're gonna have little hands open up water spigots and start letting it pour. So I didn't know if we had a plan of action just to kind of mitigate that so we don't have.
Like you're talking about putting a key lock,
Well, either a cover lock on it, or some places have they have the knobs that can be taken off and put back on. I'm just worried that, knowing how people are, if we leave them open like that, I'm just concerned. I don't know if we had a plan that you guys already had in place to kind of take care of that, so I don't worry about going over seeing water flood and everything.
I need to look at,
We will check into that.
that's a good thing. Thank you.
Well, we also have some kid that was assigned to the electrical outlet covers were targets for rocks. That was taken care of.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Generator.
No change.
Okay, can we have this removed from our next agenda for a while because
It can, but we're still waiting on
it's gonna be
that.
very
The one has the one been done?
done.
I haven't received a bill on it yet.
Waiting on NIPSCO. It's down there, it's mounted to concrete, but he's gotta wait for NIPSCO, and then as soon as NIPSCO's done.
So we're just waiting on, that's what this one is referring to, not the other one. It's
Not the other one. This is the one that we've got down there right now.
Okay, so this is number one. Got it. Okay. Just keep us updated.
No change.
Okay, Keystone property. On the Keystone property, RCH, I signed the purchase agreement probably about a week or so ago. Christina's handling it for us. She has forwarded that directly to their lawyer. And we're just waiting on a closing date and signatures.
Everything's been sent to the title company as of today, so.
Okay.
Unless I get an email later this afternoon. That's where we are, but should hear back soon for a closing date.
Okay, thank you. Okay. We have to discuss the ordinance 2026-02 enabling the issue of liquor retailer's permit in the town of Roann. Which, we would make a motion to, have the first reading.
Well, do we have, I guess, before getting into that, I was curious if there was any comments from the public.
I got something I put together. I think after the last meeting, we were here and discussed it. I just think I have a little more to add, and a little more color, I guess, kind of paint a picture of what we're thinking. In-laws, for those of you that don't know, I'm Larry McClellan from In-laws across the street. We brought up the enabling ordinance in hopes that we can, as you guys know, obtain a three-way liquor license. Our biggest reason for wanting it is so we can have one more branch to our catering services. I think it's a good opportunity, business opportunity for us. But with that, to be fully transparent, that would allow us to offer wine and liquor at the business across the street. Not necessarily our goal right now. Like I said, our big push is to add it to our catering so that customers have a one-stop shop, essentially. But maybe somewhere down the road, we would like to offer small, like craft cocktails, something like that. I know at the last meeting, there were some concerns or just some good points brought up about the ordinance. I think the main thing was the town won't be able to change that ordinance for like 2 years and 60 days, which is what it reads. And I think it was brought up that it would potentially allow another establishment in town the opportunity to apply for a three-way liquor license. Currently, I'm unaware of any businesses in this district, like the commercial district, I guess is probably what it's called, that are available. And on top of that, the ones that are occupied, I think, and please anybody correct me if I'm wrong, but they have been owned or rented by long-term owners and tenants. If for some reason one of them wanted to add a three-way liquor license, I would assume that they've been around long enough, they're a trusted member of the community, and that business is reputable enough to do so. I know that it sounds, or last, I feel like last meeting, it sounded rather easy to, once this ordinance is passed, to get that liquor license, but really, it's not as easy as just someone coming in and saying, you know, hey, I want to open a bar, or hey, I want to sell whatever it may be, liquor, beer, wine, etc. If you want a license, you still got to go through the state of Indiana. You got to go through background checks, floor floor plan approvals, minimum food offerings, minimum sales requirements, age requirements, financial, be in good financial standing, an upstanding citizen of the community. Got to still go in front of the alcohol board from the county, obtain a recommendation from them, get a final approval by the state excise police, and then all your employees on site have to be trained and permitted to then serve any alcohol to any customers. So just wanted to kind of throw those out there so everyone had a clear picture of what it looks like. No, I mean, no matter what we serve at the building or to any customers that come for catering, our number one priority is to, bring people to the community. That's really what it's all about. That's what we hope for. That's why we're trying to add more to in-laws, sand volleyball courts, food, and just try to get more people to develop this place economically. I mean, the Little League, the antique shops, the awesome park you guys are working toward, those are all more examples of getting more people in this community and being able to whether it's visit, or, find an opportunity to buy a home in the community. That's really just all I have. If you guys have any questions or anybody has any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them if I can. And just wanted to paint a clear picture of what we're hoping for.
Thank you.
No problem.
I'd like to make a motion.
Hold on a
to-
second.
Yeah.
So can let's say they get it to go order, can they get alcohol to go?
Yeah, that's a great question. There is no, with that three-way liquor license, the one you can get through the Canadian ordinance, there would be no carry out of that. You would have to have it on site. Yeah. We would open it for them, hand it to them. Well, I guess in the case that you open it, or you make it, and you can't send it. It's okay. Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Larry.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for listening.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to approve the first reading.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. First reading has been read, so we will have to have another one, the second reading in July,
Next month.
because all three board members basically have to be here if we want to bypass it tonight, so. second reading.
With that being said, do all three, this is more curiosity, but do all three board members have to approve to let it be approved, or like?
No.
No,
just
they
two.
just need a unanimous decision to waive
Okay.
the
To
first
waive
reading.
the first
Yep.
reading, that's.
So you've got to go through two readings.
Yeah, so now we have to.
But they don't all, it doesn't have to be a unanimous decision to pass the ordinance,
Understood. Awesome, thank you,
just a majority.
thank you.
Okay, Tony, you got anything?
The only new business I got is, Judy wants to retire on the 26th.
Okay.
So we need to see about finding somebody to replace him. I talked to Jamie Francis and he's interested in doing it, so I don't know what the next step is.
So we need an application.
Yep.
So will you look for an application for us then to see if we have one on file,
Oh,
or
a blank one.
a blank one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know I don't have a, okay. Yes, absolutely.
Then you just do that to Tony, Tony will get a hold of.
Get all the Jamie and come in and fill out an application.
That'd be great.
And then it has to be approved at the next meeting, is that correct?
At some meeting.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could approve it tonight if we wanted to, without an application?
No.
No.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
So how many years had Judy been working for the town?
I believe 9.
She's done a good job.
Done an excellent job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anything else, Tony? Steve?
Christine let me want to do this, but we had a hearing, was it Friday on 130 North Church about the backyard. The judge, the decision was made, we didn't really, I didn't testify, but it's strange. He give him 45 days, 44 days, something like that.
Until the hearing, which is August 7?
Yeah, to correct all the issues with the backyard, which I went and took pictures that night, by the way. It's not just a couple of window frames like she said, but anyway, they're supposed to have the whole yard cleaned up. She's trying to sell the home, the property, whatever, or just have it torn down. I did talk to Christina. It was brought up about the vehicles on site, which are nuisance vehicles, and she said they're going to be gone too, which she is Stephanie, the mom. Because the van's operational, the car's not, and the RV had the hood up for I don't know how long, so I'm not touching it, so I knew we had a hearing coming up, but I'm gonna give him a reasonable amount of time. It gets closer, then I'll tag him for the town. But since the judge had made that ruling, I don't want to really push the issue. She's supposed to keep in communication with me. She was giving my town phone number. I've not heard anything, but it's only been a few days. So that's the update on 130. The other thing we have, if you go up Adams Street to Ohio, you'll see the orange poles sticking in the yard. Has anybody seen those on board? Ron DeSiders has put, people have parked in that grassy area along Adams Street for the park, for ball games. There was no parking lot. So I contacted Brian Campbell today because I had a hunch, because I've seen the plot before, and that actually is all town property. If you go to Beacon and you look at the property lines, it's actually wrong. They sent me one for Bob. Yep. This kind of help us a little bit, but I really want the board decision on what to do. So first page you got there is the original plotting of that, and on the back page shows the original plotting. What you can see it, you'll see that there's another street up there named Indiana Street, which is to the east of Ohio Street. And you also got more partials there too. Rhonda's partial, Rhonda Siders is 40, 41, 42, and my daughter is actually 39. There's actually an alley north, well, actually Walnut Street north of that. And you got actually 4 more. None of those homes, none of those parcels were annexed in. The next page shows what was annexed in. If you look at the back, they left off Walnut Street, they left off Indiana Street, and they annexed in. What Brian says is that actually Indiana Street, those parcels are still there, are still town property, which, that's something you guys might want to think about too, is part of that land up there that I think you bought actually technically is town property still. It actually wasn't. I'm not sure where your property went to, if it went.
I don't know, it's been surveyed.
Well, I don't think they even know about these here either.
Yeah,
I don't really care about that.
It's been totally surveyed,
Yeah.
so.
Well, I'm just saying they probably didn't know about this because they found them in their old records. I don't care about that. That's nothing to me. Mine
Would
is,
Indiana, just for clarification,
Yeah.
would Indiana Street be like the parking lot at this point, or?
it depends on the width and everything. The roads are actually wider than what they usually have them. It's probably going to be at least a basketball court and back to the south. So that's town property already anyway. It's just there's no parcels there. But that's how they originally designed that area, was to have that. Kind of like down at the racetrack, our full track, those are a subdivision down there that's never developed. Well, they looked at the lines, and that's why I requested is the property lines. And Beacon, which is our GIS, we go through Beacon, but they were put in incorrectly. Brian took the measurements off of the plotting and everything that they have, and that's something that they do at the planning office, is that they measure and check. It's not a survey, but it gives us a good idea of what the town property is. And he also said usually if you have a sidewalk, that's usually always town property in the municipality or subdivision, because you don't want somebody to say you're trespassing my property. You get somebody walking to the park, that's actually not Rhonda's, that's the town's. The grass area to the road is the town's, just like on Ohio Street from that property line, unless we get survey, that's all truly town property, so it's not a right of way. According to Brian, he says survey will confirm everything with this information here. And like I said, yours, I'm not. You got that don't matter. So this is about that. I just want to, so you knew what was going on. So nobody cares.
Okay.
This is about somebody blocking actually people parking there, and it's actually town property. And there's several pictures showing different ways how they measured it. kind of like the alley behind behind their garages. I mean, the alley actually goes right on the edge of their garages.
Which is what we found out about the property on the south side. Then,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. So my main thing is I'm going to approach Rhonda about the town board wants me to, but another thing that I thought of, and that's for Bob and Christina and the town board, is if that's town property, you can get at 60-degree angle, we figured out you can get 12 more parking spots in there. And if we make it a one-way street from Ohio Street up, where it goes through over to Pike Street, cars can park in there like they were doing, park safely. And that gives, and there's actually enough room. They measured it out where you put cement blocks so nobody's actually going on the sidewalk, nobody will be going into Rhonda's property. Now, the town will have to maintain that, so if there's weeds, you gotta spray and stuff. If the town doesn't do anything, there's Indiana law that says the homeowners, and you're in a subdivision like this, in a area like Roann, they still have to maintain that. They can't just say, well, that's the town, I'm not doing it. There's actually a law, Brian said, that if you have a sidewalk and it butts up against this, blah, blah, then the homeowner is still responsible, and our weed ordinance kind of relates to that too. And they do that so you don't have any type of fighting between neighbors. They're supposed to take care of it. So Rhonda has the poles all along the Adams Street side and up Ohio Street. I'm not sure. I can't remember how far up. Tony, you know how far up Ohio she has them? Just that one partial?
I think it was just a
Just a little bit.
first piece of property.
So, and I did asked Bob to send out notices to her. I dropped it off last week, but it was for weeds and the camper on her property and some trash and stuff. But this came up. I knew about it. I just didn't have a chance to ask Brian, and I was in Bloomington today all day for a meeting, so I emailed him while I was down there. And on the way back, I got the email. I didn't have time. You won't have time to look at it tonight. You probably won't understand it, so I just brought it here. I knew Christina would be here too, so she could see. But I asked him about parking. In fact, something we could do, or just leave it grass. But what Brian said was, do 45 or 90. You don't get a couple in there.
Yeah.
60, which it can be a good one. You can actually park probably 12 vehicles in there.
Well, I think it would actually help encourage the flow of traffic, like you're saying. I think that's a really
Yeah,
good idea.
Yeah, because I want the town, we talked about last meeting, making that one way, going towards the south is what we talked about. Originally, I said going the other way, but that road is skinny.
Well, I still think it makes sense to have it going north.
Okay.
Because the sign for the park is going to be out on Pike Street,
Okay.
kind of as an entrance. And I guess I don't understand necessarily what that does to this parking on.
Well, you just angled the other direction.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it could be like
Yeah.
overflow then going out, then you would have
Yeah.
some spots.
And that was kind of my thought as well, or park committee thought. So if people come in from Pike Street and they get all the way through the parking lot and everything's full, if we have that overflow, it just kind of shoots them right out to that.
Yeah, you might, and I'm not to draw all these things, I don't got the ability to do this. I can reach out to them and have them check that. It might be downstairs, like 12 parking spots. It might go down to 10 maybe because of the closest,
Angle.
the angle, to the exit going out of the parking lot. I leave it to the experts, that kind of stuff. I saw that and then it came up and they said, hey, you can put parking there, it's town property. And I thought, well, what can we do?
Yeah.
And Brian came up with that.
Well, and it really doesn't make sense to put the sign, for the park somewhere else.
Right.
Oh,
I mean,
No, the sign-
right there on that
Yeah.
corner
Now, I will say,
is where the sign would be. And
Brian said you really would need to survey that, just confirmed exactly, but he said, Brian's usually spot on when it comes to the measurements, because they go off of center of the roadway, and I got the email from him, which I'll forward the email to you guys. I just didn't get a chance to, because I didn't think about it. We have VBS at church, I've been there since I got home from Bloomington. But he'll explain everything in detail for everybody. I'll send it to all four of you, and I'll send it to Jeremy too, and Tony, showing exactly how he measured it and everything else, so you can look at it over too. So,
Is that something that the park committee would take on then, of looking into this, of both the survey and then also
Sure.
the additional parking there.
Sure.
Yep.
But I guess I guess I would like to confirm with the survey before we say anything to Mrs. Siders about that. So make sure we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, well, that's why I wanted to bring it to you, and I didn't take any steps my own, except for asking the plan commission to look in for it, so you guys have, information.
I appreciate it, Steve. This is really good.
We might want to even add a sidewalk.
Yeah, that would be a good spot to have a nice sidewalk
Because there is
there.
one coming up anyway.
There's a little one there, yeah.
Right,
So,
so it's
Yeah,
probably,
we can look at that.
Mhm.
yeah,
and if you look at the other side, you actually have that yard's property too, but I tell you what, I looked at a lot of these, since Jennifer got in the office, she was like, hey, look at this here about Roann, because she's always looking herself. And it's amazing what they did back in the start of our town and making these subdivisions, and there's a lot more to this little town than what people even realize. So, that's,
Is there anything else for us?
I don't have anything else. I'll email, actually, when I get back, I'll send you an email from Bronny, so you all have that. So you can just read exactly what he did for measurements.
Perfect, thank you.
Christina, you got
Nothing in addition to
all right,
Nothing in addition.
Neil?
The only thing I had then would be the concrete under the bleachers at the Ball Diamond. Did you get those quotes?
I didn't. I thought you guys got, that's.
Did you get you sent the email to everyone, or was it just?
Just you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
That's,
yep, so make sure I got this one right. So the bleacher concrete came to 20,800, and then if we did a sidewalk from the pavilion to the Ball Diamond, that was going to be 4,000. The other thing to be included was for additional, if we wanted to do strip sod, and then stone. Tony, would you mind talking about what his plan was with that?
Basically, he was just talking about slip to a concrete, we could do gravel, and we could bring the compactor in, compact it all, and it was gonna end up being.
That was 5,000, 540
Amount less.
to not do concrete. The 90 tons of stone.
that's underneath the shed too, you're gonna concrete it? Were you gonna concrete under the shed too?
The announcer's booth is already
I'm
concrete.
talking about the other shed that was there too.
The shed, Shantae wants moved, and no, we wasn't planning on concrete.
Okay, I mean, I told Trav, I talked to him and told him that there was another bid going on, you guys are working on it, so he is not in the picture right now.
Okay. I mean, I would like to make a motion to approve the 20,800 for the bleacher concrete. And that is from,
Dugout to dugout, basically.
All the way around.
mhm.
Bleach, okay, no concrete at the,
Just like we talked about with Travis and stuff, going from the dugout up towards the announcer's booth, tying into the concession stand, and then going around to the other dugout the same distance, basically. That shed, she wants turned and put up against the concession stand and get it out in the middle of the yard.
Do you have a question, Bob?
Not yet.
how much you got in the park from you?
Well, we would have to split it between the park and seed it, depending on concrete being used.
And what's the width of all of that?
3,200 square foot's all I can tell you right now. I don't have the measurement.
So no concrete areas for picnic tables out there?
Just what she's got. Basically, underneath the bleachers and the picnic tables that she's got sitting up there now.
All that area that,
Is concrete, will be concreted?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna be handicap accessible and everything?
I have a question.
Yep.
he said the sidewalk from the bleachers to the pavilion, is that correct? That's a different.
That's a different
sidewalk.
thing. No, so that was an initial quote we got from Travis. It included that. So I wanted to make sure that we could compare the quotes evenly.
Yeah, but his quote included everything, the reconstruction of the concession stand.
Well, that was a separate price, but yes.
Well, we have sidewalk from the pavilion to the concession stand.
Yes, so it won't be affecting that. It'll just be from dugout to dugout.
To like restrooms, to the restroom, right? Is that what you think?
Well, no, so that's not part of that quote.
Shouldn't be, because we got sidewalk there.
Up and around, but we're talking right from the last bleacher over. That's what we were originally talking about.
So, I mean, I have concerns with that area. So I'm not sure if putting an additional sidewalk right there is what I want to do for right now, but this would just be the problem area from dugout to dugout. That additional $4,000 was just to compare the two quotes.
Okay.
I see.
So the 20,800 is from dugout, wrapping around to the dugout, so that all that's covered and we don't have the weed issue there anymore. It is accessible for everybody. Reduce maintenance there.
So what was your name total there?
20,800.
And what was the other 4,000 for?
That was for the sidewalk. If we wanted to do sidewalk from bathroom to bleacher, which was part of what we had talked about with Travis to get to his 40,000 estimate.
And the other stuff that Travis was gonna do as far as the windows in the concession, the new door, and cutting the bathroom, because the bathroom, even Shantae is taking care of now. She's got friends and whatever that are taking the fixtures out. They don't wanna take the wall out anymore. She's gonna have the bathroom part is gonna be just a storage closet. And then everything else inside, the rest of the concession, she's gonna consume. But basically for the two windows and the door and the doorknob and whatever is about $1,500. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, the 20,800, that includes concrete? Or is it just labor?
Concrete,
That's the full.
that's everything.
Concrete. Okay. Can I get, when it's billed, can I get a breakdown of the concrete and the labor? And the reason is I can take the concrete out of seated and I can then take the labor out of parks, which will save parks a lot of money. And
Mhm.
we haven't used any out of seated this year at all. We got 50,000, so
Yep.
I would much rather do that if at all possible.
You'd be able to talk to Weitzel about that, Tony?
I'm sure you should have a problem with that.
Yeah.
And that would be done at a later date this summer.
Right, not during the,
I was gonna say,
Ball
they're
games.
playing ball now.
Yeah.
That'd be late summer.
Yeah.
I think their season is getting close to being,
Should be by the end of this month.
So he's gonna dig it up and everything, the dirt, take care of all, right, Tony?
site prep is included in that, yep.
Yeah, because it's over there, so it's in the northern part. Shouldn't affect us at all. That is true. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Why would not, since this quote is totally different than what Travis did, why couldn't Travis give a quote since it's been cut down so much? Or is Travis too busy to do it, or, I mean, he may not come under Weitzel,
Well, doesn't, yeah, I mean,
but I would think it would be fair to, yeah, that's just a thought.
I mean, I think we have to honor the quotes that we receive.
But they're not the same thing.
They were based on different things.
I mean, they would cover the same amount.
I always told you, the only way that you're gonna get an apples to apples quote is if you have an engineer draw it up and make it plan. Then the two contractors can go in and give apples to apples. The discussion I had with Travis and the discussion I had with Whitesell was the same discussion. Like I said, the $1,500 for the construction of the concession stands, the only difference. The concrete was the same. So, but the only way to get a true quote for apples to apples is having an engineer, pay an engineer to come in and draw a picture with measurements and stuff so they can quote that.
Okay, thanks, Tony.
Are you going from the fence to behind the bleachers on that? From the fence to the field
Yes.
to behind the
Yeah.
bleachers?
Yeah.
And there would be a walkway behind the bleachers?
Yep.
I assume.
Basically where the gravel is now would be the place.
Concrete.
So it'd still be area for like picnic tables and,
Those, the kids' tables.
yes, yeah.
The other concern is where the water's gonna run to. The concession stand's already flooded.
And that's why the area where we talked about the sidewalk, I talked to Raynor about it too, and he thinks that the catch basin needs to go in there between the ball diamond and pavilions. So that's what has me hesitant about the sidewalk there, not really knowing what would happen in that area.
Because they leveled that out already with dirt.
Mhm.
But it still slopes down to the concession stand.
The concession stand's lower than everything else now. The
Drag it
driveway that
up.
used to be there was higher and pushed the water the opposite direction, but now since the driveway has been taken out, the concession stand's a low point. So the water runs that way. And if you're gonna do it, the catch basin needs to be put in and plumbed in before this concrete is put on the, or around the side, bleachers. Because that's the path that the pipe needs to go. And you need to put that in before you do the concrete on the bleachers.
And you have an estimate on that? That's included?
Well, that's a separate thing. So a catch basin, that would be, the catch basin would be $10,353. And that would be a 30-inch catch basin between the dugout and the concession stand, and then an 8-inch pipe and outlet at to take that to the new retention pond. And I was wondering if that was something that the park could handle then, with that being at the park location.
It's not in our budget.
Can we do this? It would be nice if, I'm not gonna be sitting here yelling at it, because I really would like to see what we're talking about. If I'm gonna have to,
Anytime you wanna see it.
okay, so. We'll
The
put
catch
that
basin is
on,
just like what they got in the parking lot and what they got between the.
yeah, put that on the
As far as
agenda.
that, they will.
Would, I'm just asking,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know. Unlike everybody else, I don't know. Is French drains, is that possible to do around that, the pavilion or not pavilion, but the
Bleachers.
the bleacher area and the concession?
I'm not sure you know about that, Tony.
I would think it would be a lot cheaper, but then again, I'm not an engineer. I only play one on TV.
Because I think the park can really like to see all that. Wouldn't you like to see what they're talking about exactly, or whatever?
Yeah.
I'd like to see a lot of things.
Yeah, me too. Okay, let's put this on the docket for next month. If sometime we can go down there and see what's going on.
Yeah, no, I got my phone number.
You're on vacation this week though.
I work all day today.
Why?
I have stuff to do.
Is Damon around?
He wasn't around today, no.
Okay, Bobby, is that it?
That's all I got.
Anybody got any other things real quick?
Yes. Phil Dale from
Yeah, I
Lions
know.
Club.
Okay.
Is the town going to, make a donation towards the fireworks?
The town cannot make that donation. That is something they're not permitted to do. And the only other thing that I would like to do, and what we need to do is, on July 4th, like to block off, Walnuts and Chippewa here, just from Chippewa to about Bob's Alley, so that we can put some, cornhole games out there. There's gonna be a bounce house coming, and then we're gonna have live entertainment that night too, so. Just a barricade.
You still have the tractors,
Parade, is that still taking place?
Yes.
I thought Mr. Mills was one.
You're on the agenda, you're on the, flyers that we're putting out that
Yes.
day, so. And that's at 10 o'clock, correct?
Yes.
So you can talk to Tony what you need, we need to close stuff off, right, is,
Yeah, I talked to Jerry and told him I was gonna talk to the other business, but Jerry's the main one. I told him as soon as it's over, we're gonna.
right, take it back. Okay.
He's perfect fine. He said that's what the town needs, let's get it, so.
Okay. Anything else? Not meeting June 7:44.
And then I'll be back.
I guess Jerry didn't come. Jerry.
Yeah.
I don't have. One of the first, I don't have, but I haven't